My name is Taminko Jones, and I am the host of the podcast, Beyond the Book Cover, Beyond the Brand. This podcast is an extension of my publishing company, Kohlberg Publishing House. I am providing an opportunity from authors, my own authors, and authors from all over, the opportunity to speak about their book, to talk about those reasons why they even decided to become an author in the first place, and why is their message so important, and what impact do they want to have on those that read their books. Tonight is our first show, and I will be interviewing Denise Godfrey and some of her cast members from her upcoming play, The Breaking Point, which will be held in Sylacauga, September 20th. You guys, I can't wait to get started to hear what is going on about the play and what the cast members has to say. So stay tuned. Hello, you guys. My name is Taminko Jones, and I am the host of the new podcast, Beyond the Book Cover, Beyond the Brand. You guys, this platform was created to provide new authors and existing authors the opportunity to tell us the passion behind those words on the pages, as well as what do they want to do with it? Whose lives do they want to affect with these words, right? Sometimes we have people that write the books and then they're not big on advertising, or they get a little stage fright, right? They don't want to talk about the book. So I would like to give this opportunity to those who write books to have a safe space to come in, be themselves, and talk about the message of their books. And tonight, you guys, for the very first episode, I have none other than Denise Godfrey and her cast of The Breaking Point. You guys, I'm so happy to have you all here. I know it's a lot of you, but to have a portion of you, my heart is singing. So we're going to just jump right into it. Okay, you guys? We're going to get into it. Okay, so I have some intros that I want to tell you guys who we're talking to tonight. So we have Dwight. Let me put on my helpers here. We have Dwight Hicks III. He is from Alexander City, Alabama, a father of 3 with 1 grandchild, a musician, a licensed ordained youth pastor at Word of Faith Ministries. He's been in ministry for 6 years, and he loves to act. He started acting in the 5th grade. Can you guys remember the 5th grade? We were all acting up in class. I know I was.
Right.
He took drama classes. He's always tried to make people laugh, and his main goal now, as this big grown man, is touching the hearts of others to get them to give their life to Christ. And next up, we have none other than Anita G. Crow. Oh my gosh. Anita Crow is from Alexander City, Alabama. She is the co-pastor at Word of Faith Worship Center in Stewartville, Alabama, and married to Eddie H. Crow. She loves sewing. I got some stuff back there that I got to get to you. She loves singing and drama, and she has labored in women ministry for 25 years. Her goal is to encourage and recommend as many people as she can to Jesus Christ. And I like how you said that. Recommend, baby.
Amen.
I love it. Next up, we have Khalees McGee, baby. Yes. Khalees is 24. She's originally from Kellyton, Alabama. She is an elder and the youth pastor at Bethel Worldwide Apostolic Church. She graduated from Auburn University. She is a digital producer for WTVM News Leader 9. Go, Khalees! She is a wife and mother of 2. She's also the National Youth Director of Worldwide Apostolic Church under the leadership of Chief Apostle Dr. Henry Traylor and Dr. Kathy Traylor. Her passion for acting started when she was in 6th grade, and she has a passion to see young people and young adults fall in love with Jesus, you guys, the overwhelming love of Jesus.
Amen.
Next up, you guys, we're talking about the cast of The Breaking Point. We have Javonda M. Leonard. She is a native of Sylacauga, Alabama, a business professional, enjoys living life to the fullest. She is a Bibi Abuela. And for you who do not know, that's grandmama, baby. And she has one grandson, three daughters, and two son-in-laws. She is a foodie who enjoys all cuisines, and she enjoys nature, rest, self-care, and traveling, all while loving to prepare loving to prepare her favorite recipes. There we go. And she volunteers for several nonprofit organizations. Okay, next up, you guys, we have Raven Cook. She is woman of God, a proud wife, mother of four beautiful children, an LPN, and newly appointed as PR director of the stage play, The Breaking Point.
Yeah.
And now we have Grady Cook Jr., husband, father, pastor, and he says he is committed to sharing God's truth and encouraging others. And last but not least, the playwright, the visionary herself, Denise Cook Godfrey. And right under there, she has a quote that says, crafting Christian novels that illuminate the human spirit, inviting readers to confront their shadows and embrace the light of redemption. Denise is passionate about serving and glorifying God through worship. She writes Christian fiction and nonfiction. She is a licensed minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, playwright, liturgical dance educator, and Denise is an award-winning, best-selling author who desires to take her expertise as both the wife of a pastor and a gospel teacher and weave in those principles into a narrative. You guys, her stories are both based on personal experiences as well as the experiences held by those she has served. Denise's passion for the arts just breathe impact. Her passions for the arts breathes impact, you guys. She is married to the funny comedic Pastor DeForest Godfrey. She is a mother of two and also a grandmother. Denise's industry or professional career is in banking, which she has served that career for 40 years. She also enjoys aerobic exercise, reading, and spending time with her family. You guys, here we are. Now, we've given those introductions. Let's talk about who are you guys beyond the book cover, beyond the brand, beyond the play. So, all of the promo videos that I've seen exclaims that the breaking point is back. Okay? So, for those who may not know of the play, give us a little backdrop on the play.
Okay, I'll speak to that. Actually, this is a sequel. And so what we're doing, we're actually continuing, I guess you can say, the saga. We're continuing from where we left off with the Breaking Point Part 1. And so we're using the same themes. They're actually rolling over, but we're using some new themes in this one. So if someone has not seen the Breaking Point Part 1, there will be no problem actually following, enjoying, and being ministered to by the second one. So what we're doing, we're actually using the themes of gun violence among young males. Using the theme of sexual orientation issues and gender confusion, unforgiveness and redemption. And then we are throwing in there the youth. I mean, last episode, the youth was really like a major blowout theme because we have found that not all of them, but some of them have a hard time connecting to some of the older generation. And then some of them are really having a hard time seeing the relevance of church attendance. Why can't we just stream? Do we have to go to church? Do we have a safe place to talk about what we want to talk about? You know, that was on my heart as well when we wrote the first sequel. So we're just basically continuing. I felt like Nehemiah on the wall, you know, the work is not done. So because I never intended to write a sequel, to be honest, I never intended to. But after much prayer, after hearing the reviews, what happened to the little girl that thought she was gay?
Yeah.
Oh, did they ever get that straight? What happened to Uncle Harry? You know, people wanted to know what happened to the characters.
They were invested in the play.
They were very invested. To God be the glory. They were invested, and I had to pick up the pen again.
Yeah.
And so we had to continue to work.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so what are some of the onset challenges though that occurs during production? So you have a lot of cast and a lot
Yes.
of moving parts.
Mm.
So on set, I know as a playwright and director this thing, you run into some I won't call them issues. Let's just say some opportunities to make things better, right?
Yes, we do. We
Yeah.
do. One thing that I really view as a challenge from last play, but then from plays from 2009 on up.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times, because I have a variety of people, and
Mm-hmm.
they're all picked by God for me.
Yeah.
I have to say that.
Yeah.
But we have clergy,
Mhm.
we have educators, we have business people that own their own business.
Yeah.
We have people that just normal, ordinary people that go to work every day. They got children. And so juggling schedules can be a challenge on set. Getting everybody under the same roof at the same time
That's
can be
understandable.
a challenge. And it has been a huge challenge, an ongoing challenge. But I will say that we have kind of corrected that this time for the first time because we have gotten very creative with our day and time. We made, and it was an agreement with everyone. We made the sacrifice to meet at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
Oh, that's good.
So that is one way we have kind of overcome that challenge of getting everybody together. And it's been working out great. 8 o'clock Saturday morning.
And then and when working with so many people and having a vision and everybody's on one accord, then those sacrifices have to come. They got to come from somewhere. And so
Yes,
for a team to be able to say, you know what, we're gonna do it at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. We're gonna just get out of this bed because we all work, but we're getting out of this bed and we're gonna make it happen. And that's the only way that the dream is really gonna take flight if
right,
sacrifices are actually made.
right.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's see here. For the cast member, let's get a cast member. Every production has its behind the scenes stories, whether funny, tough, or inspiring. Can you share a rehearsal or on set moment that you want to share with me? Don't nobody talk at one time.
Say, I think it was a few Saturdays ago. There was a Saturday where we were able to have all cast members there, just about all cast members there. And for everyone to really be in character, because at some point we were kind of struggling with owning our characters, some of us, and it was this particular Saturday where we were just all in character, and we were all there were so many funny moments throughout the scene as throughout the play it is, but um it was all for us a moment of a God encounter. Not only was it a moment for us to be on one accord while we were practicing, but for each one of us as I was kind of watching and looking at everyone and kind of as they were playing their part and or sitting waiting on their scene. It was all one of those, those God moments where you can see it on everyone's face and in their reactions.
Mhm. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, so what do you hope that the audience walk away with this type of production? Anybody?
I
Grace?
hope I hope that they walk away with forgiveness in their heart and they feel restored within their spirit. From the time you're a child to an adult, you have so many different experiences, whether good or bad. And I just feel like if you've ever been through any type of trauma, I think especially in our community, forgiveness is one of those things that you waver with. If this situation was so bad and it really hurt me, can I really forgive?
Mm-hmm.
What does forgiveness really mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so I hope that they see from this production that you can forgive no matter how hard it is. You can forgive, with God and with people supporting you
Mm-hmm.
to forgive. I feel like you can get there with God and with therapy. In our community, we a lot of people don't believe in therapy. They feel like I just need Jesus and that's good enough for me. But I know particularly in my family, is somebody who I wish that they could really forgive. They say, I prayed and gotten over it, but just from certain decisions that they make, you can tell that they haven't
Yeah.
forgiven. And so I hope people can really walk away and actually do that, and it really shows that they can forgive.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
the next question I'm going to ask, I know I sent over some questions, but I just got to download.
Come on now. Come on now.
So how does the characters fit into who you are? Like when the role is written and that's your script, and I know as a writer, Denise, you're having to pick who's going to be the one to best serve that purpose so that whoever receives it well. How do you do that? Like what, tell me about that.
Okay, this is like a loaded question. Like,
Yeah.
yes, this is very challenging because once you start writing, and then for me though, I'm so blessed until the people that I've had them.
Mm-hmm.
I've had them for years, and I begin to know them by the Spirit, and I begin to know their personality traits. So partially the answer to that is pretty easy because I know their acting style, I know their real life personalities. So
Mm-hmm.
I can match people with characters. But then when I can't do that, there's always one or two characters I cannot match. And I'm just going to say this about Uncle Harry. Because when I wrote Uncle Harry, I was like, Lord, because I'm a prayer warrior too now. I have to pray about these characters. And there are times when I am writing until there's tears dropping on the keyboard as I'm writing it because I'm feeling what they're feeling. Now, if you're not a writer of novels and stuff, you may not can understand that. Or maybe you watch movies and you sitting there, your husband sitting there looking at you like, and you sitting up there crying at a movie. Watching a movie on TV, crying, booing. And so I had to pray about Uncle Harry because I didn't know who fits this role. But God sent him. God sent.
Yeah.
I'm getting full now because I'm so passionate about what I do. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, this is good. This is beyond the book cover. We want to know why. What is it?
To pray about Uncle Harry. And when God sent this young man into my life, he was supposed to be in the play for When a Man is Fed Up, but he couldn't get there. But it wasn't his timing. Mm-hmm. This was the appointed time. The breaking point was the appointed time. So to feel what those characters are feeling as you're writing and then to match someone up, it's challenging. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this A, B, C. I'm not going to give you a formula because I can't. Yeah. Because most of it comes from the breath of God, from the inspiration, from what he shows you in the spirit of the moment when you're writing. And when you actually audition too, because I used to didn't even audition a long time ago. Now I've started auditioning. My veterans, the ones that have been with me for years, I know their acting style. I know where to place them. But to have people audition, you got the moment. You got to listen. You got to watch and see what they're putting out in order to match their personality with the trait of that character. Yeah. And sometimes it don't work out.
Yeah.
I have to switch somebody up or help someone, boost them to feel, you got to feel it this way, or you need to do this, or you need to do that. That's our job as a writer, as a director, to help that cast member to feel that character. You must become that character.
Which leads me to my next question. When you're becoming the character, I'm getting these downloads. And the reason why, sometimes you can't prep for things that naturally just flows, right? Because even though we did touch the surface, I felt like it wasn't enough to bring out what you have. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I'm asking just a few more questions like this.
Yes.
When you are practicing and preparing for your roles, and I think I want this question to go to no more volunteering. I'm calling y'all out.
Yeah, call them out.
Dwight, when you are practicing for the roles, tell me when you're at home and not amongst everybody else, how are you preparing for the role? How are you remembering these lines, man?
What I do is I literally tap into being that person, really. I block out everything else. I block out being Dwight. I am Uncle Harry when I'm practicing. So I have to when I practice my lines, I try to read the line before mine.
Mm.
You know,
Okay.
I even read the other characters' lines also, so I know when to come in when it's my time. Even though we do paraphrase a lot of things, but it's just that remembering that certain word
Yeah.
that'll help you. Boom, it's time. It's your time to
Keyword.
come in, and
Yeah.
you got to know how to just really flow right into it. Even though I still come to rehearsal with my script, even though I know my lines, but sometimes it just still just trying to you just have to become that person.
Something.
You can't be who you are acting being somebody else. You
Well, I
have to
hear that
be
in the
that person.
spirit.
Yeah,
You can't be who
Amen.
you are acting like somebody else, can you?
That's right.
Amen.
That's a good point, sir.
And we got a Holy Ghost cast over here.
Amen. Amen. I'm
Talking
still
about.
searching, y'all.
That's
I'm
right.
about to
That's
go
right.
on.
This is what it's all about. Anita, tell me about, because you are hilarious on stage. I've gotten the opportunity to see you do your thing, your thing. Stage. Tell me, where does that come from? Tell me, because ministry, they know your personality and they know you will play, but they still know you got a heart and you are authentic. But how do you step into that role and memorizing those lines?
Well, as Miss Janie B, it's kind of seem like it's a natural thing for me to be her, as to just step in because Miss Janie B always got something to say. No matter what, I got something to say in all of the meetings, and I just have the shortest. I always ask for the shortest, though. I have the shortest line to say.
But
So,
they be powerful.
and yeah, they are. They are. And I try to give it my best. And I don't know what happens to me when I get on the stage because I get different from when I be in practice. So
Yeah.
I guess it's just a God-given gift, that just changes you when you get out in front of people, like that. So mine just flow out, but I do study my lines, and sometimes she had to say, well, you ain't got nothing but a little short. Y'all just got the little short. I know she be talking to me. Just y'all need to get through it. So, I have learned my lines, thank God. And I'm just Miss Janie B. I'm always the Miss Lady, Miss somebody. So I just thank God for Denise. She's such a jewel.
yeah.
So we have a newbie. I'm calling her out. I think this is my first time seeing Khalees on stage of the production. So, Khalees, tell me about how you got started with coming into this role or becoming a part of the cast.
Okay, yes. Well, so I auditioned when we had the first play. Before we had the first play, I auditioned, and I auditioned for Lily, and I was selected to play this role. And I'm honestly really grateful that I have the opportunity to play Lily because uh, Lily, as I've learned throughout, Lily shares a lot of similarities to me, especially the way I was before I was saved. And so I've really kind of just used even my experience really that I've actually went through personally to tap into those emotions and those feelings to really be able to bring that to the stage and really be able to minister to people. And there's so many things I honestly feel like throughout the play, and especially being a youth myself, although I'm 24 and I do have a whole life and a whole husband, and I'm still a young person. And so just really being able to bring that, and really being able to just bring that to my character, and those experiences and those feelings, that I've experienced has really been great. And I really like my goal in it is really to really be able to minister because I've a lot of what Lily is experiencing, she's misunderstood. She's struggling with this hurt and this forgiveness. Deep down on the inside that she doesn't think she can talk to anyone about or explain to anyone. And I've experienced that firsthand in my life. And so my goal is to minister to people and let people know that, I've been there and I've seen it and, but if I could make it out, you can make it out too. So
Right.
And I think too, being young and in ministry and a young fireball for God, that it sets the tone that it's okay. Nita, you remember Pretty Girls Get Ugly for God? You remember that?
Yes, I do.
So the thing about it is, I think it's great that it sets the tone that you can be young. You don't have to be somebody that have served. Sir, you're 70 years old in church and you're trying to get yourself
Right.
God. Like you can
Right.
do this at a young age and still be okay.
Right.
And still walk that walk and
Mhm.
learn to be rich in the Lord and rich in his word. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
grateful that you will be acting in that role. Now that you've told me a little bit about that. And I can't wait for the people to see you in action. So let's see here. Grady Cook. Grady Cook.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Grady
ma'am.
Cook. So out of all the bios that came over, yours was absolutely the shortest. I was shortening up everybody. I said, well, I don't have to do much to his.
Right.
Tell me about the commitment of encouraging people to become lovers of Christ, right? Like, how does that reflect in your role? Like, what do you want that to do?
I want people to see that we are all people that have a past. So I'm a pastor that has a past, but I want people to see through that God can deliver us, God can change us, and our past don't have to define us.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's basically how I encourage people. We all have problems. We all have a past,
Mm-hmm.
but we still have to trust that God is able to do what He said He would do.
That's right. And
That's
because
right.
a lot of people try to pin the pastor to the board, and
Yeah,
you got to do this, that, and the third, this, that, and the third. And you can't be, forgetting that you are people.
That's right.
You're walking the walk just like everybody
Amen.
else. And that your calling is to help lead and to encourage, not to be stuck up against the board, and ridiculed for
right,
everything. So I understand definitely what you're saying with your portion of the character is to reflect that, even though all these things you're expecting, I'm still human. Can we all just agree to forgive each other, right? And I
right,
think, Raven, I think you were talking about that earlier. As
Mm-hmm.
how we want this how we want this play to be one of where people learn how to forgive, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I think I have one last one. You up, baby. Hold on a minute. Shavonda, tell me about your character when you're cooking. Do you think about being your character? Do you like snap into her while you're cooking? Like, tell me about the behind the scenes at home when you're getting into your character.
Um, Getting into a character, I had to, and I'll say when Minister Denise, when she reached out to me, I was taken back because I used to perform in plays and church and gospels and write and do all of that. And at the pivotal point that I was in my life now in this season, I had to pray and I told her, I said, can I pray about this? I said, and get back to you. And she's like, yes, yes, by all means. And so I had to understand the role not from a from not a worldly view, but from a godly view. And in that and preparing for it, I had to understand how it is in the world and my particular character and how it's seen and how it is portrayed now, because it's portrayed so heavily in, I guess, in life and social media, and without just it's just how it's portrayed.
Without
So it's
giving it away, tell them a little bit about your personality, about this personality, so the listeners can see if they can relate.
so her personality is very um secretive, almost suspicious, very you were like, who is that?
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you just say that? Yeah.
So it's really playing into character, and keeping in mind of not giving all of who the character is, who she is, but allowing this suspense to kind of grow to understand. And like we've always said, everyone has had a past, but understanding what part of that plays into who you are now. So even if that is or not of who you have been, or currently are, it allows you to see it from a pivotal point of how can God use me to speak to someone else within a play who may have been there, or who may
Yeah.
currently be there, for them to understand how they are able to change and transform their life and not be the person that they once were. So
Yes.
being in that role, I had to really pray about it, because I I didn't tell Minister that. I almost said no, but God was like, play the part. I'm like, I said, are you sure, Lord? He's like, yes, play the part.
It's just to
I
think
said,
that
okay.
this is the beginning, and I will speak this. Denise, you know how I feel about faith. You already know. I will
I
just
already know. Yeah.
this is the beginning, you guys, of what we're all doing. Like I can see us right now. Can y'all just go there with me?
Yeah.
That we're in the real
Mhm.
Cool Bird Studios, and I got the
Mhm.
cast where we,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
because we start together, we've been doing this for a long time, you guys. We believe in each other, and we stand firm on the word of God and what He says. And see, beyond the book cover, beyond the brand is of faith. Like we're in the midst of each other's faith, and we're hoping that for the play that the message is received. That one, they come out with an open mind, open heart, and receive, not only leave entertained, but leaving believing. Did I just rhyme, y'all? Leaving believing.
Yeah.
Leaving and believing that God is who He say He is, and being
Yeah.
able to accept that through character roles. And
Yeah.
Shavonda, especially, like you said, that is big, because especially if God has dealt with you and you walked away for what was or may not have ever been, but now
Yes.
you're having to go back there and,
Yeah.
and act this role out in a hope that somebody sees their reflection.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the hope, that they see their reflection in these
That's
roles
right.
and
That's right.
change.
Yes.
So, you guys, how can they buy these tickets? Tell me where this
Oh,
show is going to be held, and how can they get these tickets?
Well, the show is going to be held at Sylacauga High School Auditorium, of course, in Sylacauga, Alabama, at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time on September 20th. And they can get tickets. There is a barcode on the flyer on various social media outlets that they can use their camera app and do Cash App if they would like. Or they can contact myself or Raven. Raven's the PR director. She may want to add to this. She holds my hand. So Raven can tell them some things also about tickets, but just contact me at my email, my Gmail email. It's dcookgodfrey@gmail.com, and just ask for ticket information. I can, local folks, if they want a physical ticket, if they don't want to do Cash App, we can get them a ticket.
Okay.
We'll do whatever we can to get them a ticket. Raven, did you have anything to add?
I know we're at different events and we're always around in the community. And so we have a lot of flyers out in the community, and so like she said, that QR code is there for people to scan if they're walking by and reading. They're like, oh, this is something I would love to go to. They can scan that QR code and pay via Cash App, or they can always reach out to me, Miss Denise, Dwight, Janice Bledsoe, or any cast member and purchase a ticket. And we're always ready and willing to meet them so they can get their ticket.
Awesome. Denise, will you have books on hand at the play by any chance?
Yes, I will have a book table out front right next to the ticket table. If people are interested in other books, I will have those at the event.
You know, we're trying to get all the plug in. We're trying to get all the plug in. Every bit of it. Every bit of it. Every bit of it. You guys, this is Taminko Jones, and this is the cast of The Breaking Point that is going to be held September 20th in Sylacauga, Alabama at Sylacauga High School. Look, make sure that you visit those pages and go and get yourself a ticket, right?
Yes.
Be there in the place, have an open heart, and be willing to receive what is going to be happening there on that stage, you guys.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time out to interview them.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
Yeah.